Welcome to the 40 Days of Mindful Ritual as we begin our third full week of Lent. This is our yoga practice, and so I hope you find yourself sitting comfortably on your mat as I read our scripture for the day. As we began this week of Lent, we found ourselves in John chapter 4 with the story of Jesus and the Samaritan woman. And I'm just going to highlight verse 10 from this story. And Jesus replied to her, "If you only knew the gift God has for you and who you are speaking to, you would ask me and I would give you living water." If only you knew the gift God has for you and who you are speaking to, you would ask me and I would give you living water. Let's use that as our meditation for this practice. Begin with noticing your breath. The easy inhale and exhale of the natural breath. Begin to become aware of God's presence and truly the gift of Himself that He is to us. On your next inhale, let arms lift up high overhead, stretching up tall in the spine, and exhale, the hands come down beside you. Inhale, arms lift up overhead, letting the chest cavity expand. And exhale, hands float down, shoulders drop. One more this way. Inhale, arms lift. And exhale, hands down. Crawl onto all fours. Square tabletop for a few cat and cow breaths. As you inhale, let the belly fall, chin rises, sit bones rise. As you exhale, pull belly to spine, rounding up your back like a Halloween kitty. Let the head fall, hips tuck under. Inhale, come back to cow, lifting the chin, belly drops, rolling through the spine. And exhale to cat. Feel the space between the shoulder blades widen. And then come to a neutral spine. Tuck under the toes and lift the hips high, coming into down dog. Adjust your feet. Become aware of your hands, the weight coming into the base of your first finger and thumb and your pinky. Pedaling out the feet. Gently opening up the back of the legs, pulling the shoulders back away from the ears. On your next inhale, let your eyes lift up to your hands and walk your feet forward and come to a forward fold at the top of your mat. And slowly begin to roll up to a standing position, stacking one vertebrae over the other. Chin comes up last, inhaling as you come all the way up. Exhale at the top. And inhale, rise. Your hands lift up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. One sun salutation together. Inhale, arms lift up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Bending the knees, hands on the mat. Walk the feet back to plank pose or push-up pose. Bringing the knees down or leaving the knees up. Inhale here. Exhale, lower to the ground, hugging the elbows close to the body. Release the toes. Press in the hands to the mat, lifting the heart up. Inhale. Exhale, come back down to the mat. Curl under the toes. press yourself back up into down dog. Inhale, eyes lift to the top of the mat. Walk or hop the feet forward, come to forward fold, and slowly, keeping the knees soft, roll up to stand. Inhale, arms lift up overhead, and exhale, hands to heart. Bring the weight into your left foot, right toes get light. Inhale, standing tall. And as you exhale, the right foot steps back and out to open to the long side of your mat. Feet 2 or 3 feet apart. Toes slightly turned out. Arms reaching out to either side. Inhale here. And as you exhale, bend the knees, bending the elbows. Come into a deep squat. And pause here for a couple of breaths. Take note of your knees. The knees should be directly over your ankles. Don't let the knees fall forward. And to help that, you can press into the mat with your pinky toes, emphasizing the outside edge of the feet. As you inhale, straighten the legs, straighten the arms, reach wide. And exhale, take that deep squat again. This time thinking of the elbows coming wide, the chest is open, top of the head is lifting while the tailbone points down towards the mat. Inhale to stand, stretching the arms, straightening the knees. And one last time, exhale, come down to that deep squat, perhaps a little deeper this time. Feeling the opening in the hips. And inhale to stand, reach the arms wide. Pivot the left toes to the top of the mat and pivot the right heel toward the back of the mat. Both legs are straight. Coming into Exalted Warrior, turn over the left hand and lift it high, reaching both sides of the waistline long, and then lifting the arm for a gentle side stretch. And exhale, bring that left hand down, coming into triangle. The hips shift toward the back of the mat. Left hand reaches toward the front of the mat. And then tip the hands into triangle. Right hand high. Left hand rests gently on the leg or reaches towards the floor. Triangle pose. If it feels all right on your neck, let the head turn and look toward the right hand. And inhale, come back up. Moving into our half moon balance. If you have a block that you can put at the top of your mat, or if you have a piece of furniture you could use to steady you, we'll be using that. So bending the left knee, shift the weight into the left foot. Reach the left hand either for your block or for the piece of furniture or perhaps even the floor. When you feel yourself come into that balance, stack the hips, stack the shoulders, and then perhaps the right hand can float up towards the sky. Stay here for 3 to 5 breaths, finding your balance. Both legs are engaged. If you'd like to take the bind here, the right hand can reach back for the top of the right foot. Open the heart out for a gentle back bend. And then release the foot and step the right foot back to the mat. And come to the top of your mat. Hands to heart. Inhale, arms lift up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale down, bend the knees deeply and sweep the arms up. Come to stand, arms lifting up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. Now bring the weight into your right foot. Left toes get light, standing tall. Inhale. And as you exhale, the left foot steps out and back, facing the left long edge of your mat. Toes slightly out, and the feet are 2 to 3 feet apart. Nice, comfortable stance. Arms reaching wide. Inhale here, and on exhale, take the hands behind the back. Bring the elbows towards one another, folding back, the shoulder blades touching. And then take the fist and press it down towards the mat, opening the chest wide. From here, you'll bend forward at the waist, keeping the knees soft, forward fold, lifting the fist high behind you to open up the shoulders. If this is feeling too intense on the shoulders, just let the fist rest gently at the low back, keeping the knees soft. Let the head dangle. On your next inhale, let the fist pull you back up to stand. Release the hands wide. And turn the right toes to the top of the mat, left heel toward the back of the mat. Ready for exalted warrior on this side. The right hand lifts. Keep growing out of the top of the head, low belly engaged. And exhale, bring the right hand down, shifting into triangle. The hips move toward the back of the mat. Right hand reaches far and then tips into triangle. Left hand high, right hand either on the leg or on the floor. Both sides of the waistline are long. Top of the head reaches forward while the hips keep moving back towards the back of the mat. On your next inhale, come back up. And ready for half moon on this side. Shift the weight into the right foot. Take the right hand to your support, the furniture piece, the block, or the floor. Once you feel that balance, both legs are active and engaged, then open the hips out to the side, the hips stack, the shoulders stack. The left hand can float up towards the sky, finding your balance. Become aware of your right hand and right shoulder. Begin to lift the weight out of that hand so that the core is supporting the weight of the body. Feel yourself expand on all points. If you'd like to take the bind, the left hand can reach back for the top of the left foot, opening the heart, finding that gentle back bend. And release. Bring the left foot down and walk to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms lift up overhead. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands. Walk the feet back to plank pose. Again, knees up or knees down. Exhale, chaturanga, or lower all the way to the mat. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale into down dog. This time we'll be walking towards the back of our mat. So walk the hands towards the feet. Take the feet mat width apart, keeping the knees soft. Hang in a forward fold. You might take opposite elbows to hands. Let yourself sway back and forth. Keeping the knees soft protects the low back. If this is feeling too intense of a forward fold, let the elbows come above the knees to support you. Dangle the head, shake the head, yes and no. Making sure that you're loose through the neck, through the back of the shoulders. Deep breaths here. Release the hands. Walk back up into down dog. Bend the knees and come all the way down to sit on your mat. Bringing the legs around in front of you. We will slowly lower down and set up for Shavasana, our resting pose. Just let your palms roll up, your feet flop wide, shoulder blades tucked under your back. Let the eyes close and just spend as long as you have available to you. Traditionally, it's good to lay still on your mat until you feel like you're cooling the body. You're not sweating anymore. And I'll return us to our meditation verse, John 4:10. Jesus replied, "If you only knew the gift God has for you and who you were speaking to, you would ask me, and I would give you living water." Take all the time you need. And as you're ready to get up, start yourself slowly with just gentle movements of the hands, perhaps wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes. Gently taking your chin from one shoulder to the other shoulder. And to get up, you just roll to one side and take a couple of breaths there before you continue. And as you're ready, you can slowly press yourself up to a seated position. It's my prayer that you move and breathe in God's presence during these yoga practices, and that you feel His smile on you, that His joy becomes your strength. And until we meet again, Shalom, Shalom.